So I took a sell based off of the 1 hour rebreak of the lows, which also happened to be the 4 hour rebreak of the lows. Just let me deal with this first because we're coming up pretty. Bro, what the fuck are these candle closures? Thing is, shit is messing with you. Yeah, I want to be able to move risk off the table as soon as possible here. That's your wick break at a 4 hour candle lows. So there you go. As price action, fuck's sakes, pushes you down. I'm gonna go break even off of that trade. And then price action, yeah, I think it might just come back up and hit you out. Uh, almost. Yeah, okay, we're out of that trade position. That's completely fine. But we based it off. You have the 4 hour break of the lows, which were here for price action to pop you down. The 1 hour time frame gave you some bearish indication by a body of the candle wick closing below the previous wick high. 30-minute time frame continues to break the lows. You're expecting a strong push down. Same thing on the 15, same thing on the 5. Now the thing is, I was very hesitant on this trade position because price action here gave you a fake out, right? Which tells me price action should potentially push down and gives me a stronger indication that you're not going to retest the 15 highs. And same thing happens with the 30, that you're not really going to retest the 30 break at the highs. My risk off area is very aggressive on the re-break at a 4 hour lows. Why? Is because when you re-break 4 hour lows, you should be assuming, or not assuming, you should be expecting price to give you a very strong rejection to the downside, which, as you can see, didn't happen. So that means this is a very, very well executed trade position for me to have attempted that sell, and we didn't quite get it. Now, price action is more than welcome to continue driving down, but look at the 1 minute time frame structure. That's not very typical for me to take. It shows me there's a lack of momentum. The 5 minute time frame, the same thing. I'm not too sure. You continue rebreaking the lows, sure, you might continue the push down, but for me, it's very tricky price action that I got to deal with here, and it's only realistically the higher time frame that tells you should get the push. The reason why I want to mitigate risk off the table very, very quickly in my position entry is because I don't like how the lower time frame structure looks for price action to then retest and break the highs. I would much rather wait for this drive to continue pushing down and we miss out on that position, because I think that the hour in this case might even push you up close, top wick below 4722, refill the liquidity area for price action to come down. Now that's just an assumption. There is no proper logic behind it right now. It's just looking at the lower time frame. The structure doesn't look great just for a clean drive down. The structure looks like it's good for ranging, and I don't want to be stuck into a late trade session position when I know that the probability of me entering the position now and being stuck in it is going to be very high, right? We don't have very clear candle closures. It doesn't really make too much sense. I'll come back for the end of the session if we have another trading opportunity or just the trade outcome of where price action went, because this confidence just is a little bit low. I'm going to fill out the trade journal. We took one break-even trade today, and that's that. We took that sell stop, which I just explained. Man, so we're back, and it's currently 6:31. Price action has actually brought you down, which is quite interesting to see on price action. However, it's kind of like trickling down, right? I mean, if you look at the time frames, we base this off of the 15. 15 never aligned for me, because typically what you'd see is if you have a body of the candle closing you above the previous wick candle low, you're typically going to see some form of reversal. And we just didn't have any time frame alignment. I understood that the 1 hour had a pretty strong chance of coming down. Couple that with the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame breaks the lows to continue pushing down towards your all-time targets here at 46.84. Makes a lot of sense. It's just trying to get the proper entry. So we wanted a rebreak of the lows here on the previous low, which is what we got. Unfortunately for me, the way price action behaved didn't match the same narrative that I originally wanted to build on price action. So what I had on price was you take the wick break of the low, which is your hour rebreak of the low, which is your 30 and all the lower time frames, and then your risk off area will be your break at a 4 hour lows. So what will happen is, as price action breaks the highest time frame to push down, you're expecting a very strong drive. Since, one, your 4 hour candle didn't get the full wick fill of the daily high, you didn't re-challenge the daily highs, and in my opinion, I didn't think there was a lot of liquidity that was grabbed on the higher time frame for retests, which was enough to push price down. And as you can see, rightfully so, price wick behaviors today has just been ranging. I think one characteristic that we can take away from today is when you look towards mapping out the charts, this is what you had this morning. Asian and London session just kept pushing you up. So you had the open and price action was just strong bullish behavior, which made sense on the daily, right? Yesterday, when I got off the charts, I was already anticipating a pretty big move. When you re-break these highs, price action is either going to have a big dump or a big positive push. And this is actually a really decent support zone area that price action has previously pushed up on before. So typically, you would be looking for buys. When we got to the charts, price action was already kind of topping out on the end range here. So as we started coming to the charts, we were like, okay, cool, what can we get? Can we get retracements or can we get continuation? I don't do too well with trading ranges, and I don't do too well this start of the year trading sells. So for me, it's a little bit iffy if I'm looking to get into sales. I want things to be specific. I want to have an A+ setup, and we just didn't get the requirements today. And it goes to show, again, it's another video of basically showing a bunch of patience. You just have to wait for the trade opportunities to come to you. You cannot force your requirements in the market. For me today, had I gotten in to a trade position, let's say I just gotten into this trade position, I'm not going to set myself break even. I would be really uncertain, because this is a little point of considering gambling here, since you didn't follow your strategy, which is once price action breaks this low, which is your risk off area, price action should continue to push up. That is what my plan will be, right? Because when price action continues to push up, you're expecting it to retest its high, which is expected to retest the 1 hour high here, right? So it just didn't make any sense, and that's why I didn't take it. No validity, therefore no runners, right? We stuck to the plan, took a break-even trade today. There's no other entries that I could have taken, and price action is currently floating. So your peak in this trade position currently is, my emoji keyboard came up, currently is 206 ticks. Your full take profit is 263. Still waiting on the result, but nevertheless, there's no validations for me. You can just look at the wick closures. It just doesn't make any sense for me to take price. It was just a ranking type of day, so a little bit frustrating, but we can adapt to the skill of enabling ourselves to take ranges. You just need an A+ setup to occur for us to be able to take such setups. But for me, I'm out of the markets, and we call it a day with one break-even trade on the door today.